Hi guys, welcome back. We're starting month 2. We're here. We're in the middle of trimester 1. You are now missed a period. You have definitely taken a pregnancy test. If not, you are very questioning what's going on in your life. Our baby is transitioning from embryo to fetus. We are starting to get human-like. We have our amniotic sac. The yolk is still there. The corpus luteum is still there, but it's working real hard to become an umbilical cord. Our placenta is still forming, looks more formed, and can be seen on an ultrasound. Fetus is looking very alien-like because our head, our circulatory system, and our nervous system are one of the first things to be growing. So we have a tail that eventually becomes the rest of our body, but it looks like a little alien baby. But that's okay. We have like a little tadpole in there, a little blueberry tadpole. That's great. And when you can get an ultrasound, and that's what they're looking for, to see is placenta there, is your amniotic sac there, and is our sweet little dude there. This week, like I had said previously, week 5 was a real hitter for me and probably both pregnancies, but I didn't pay attention in the first 2 months of my first pregnancy. This last pregnancy, week 5, exhaustion and intense nausea hit me like a ton of bricks, and you're probably going to see that as well. Just a lot going on, a lot of hormones, a lot moving. Your baby is growing endlessly. To go from an embryo to a fetus and all of these organs being formed is just so exhausting for your body. And again, it's not really all the way used to doing this. So it's still trying to adjust to that on top of all of this going on. So give your body a little break. Give your body. Like I had stated, you're having a huge surge of hormones. And the hormones that are specifically surging right now is estrogen for your progesterone. And that's going to function for placenta to keep the muscle. So estrogen for progesterone is a huge surge. And why the progesterone is so important, estrogen is telling the progesterone to keep growing or keep, boosting itself. And that is happening because it's placenta function. It keeps the placenta functioning properly while it's growing. It keeps the muscle in the uterine wall strong to keep hold of that, connection, especially while the umbilical cord is still forming properly. And from controlling, and it also helps with your breast growth. That's why your breasts are probably huge at this point, which is very normal. It's growing fat, but also the hormones, and fat specifically for milk production and all of that. Come baby. It starts this early. Yes, it does. That's why your breasts hurt. And then HCG is another huge surge going on this week. It's supporting the corpus luteum that's eventually going to be turning into the umbilical cord. So that is a huge surge this week because that is kind of transitioning out corpus luteum to the umbilical cord. It hasn't officially by the end of the week, but it's starting. So you want to have that huge surge so that growth can keep happening. And it promotes the regulation of the progesterone, so all of that can be going on. So something this week you can do is calculate your due date. Now, if you have IVF, depending on your 3-day or 5-day transfer, if you had 3-day, add 263 days. If you had a 5-day, add 251. And from those days will be your due date. That's how they'll calculate your due date as well when you have IVF. And if you don't have IVF, go from your missed period and go back 4 weeks to your first regular period, which I had stated in week 1 is technically the first week of your pregnancy. And then add 40 weeks to your first day of your period. And that is your due date. And that's how they calculate it as well at the OB, which is why they ask for the first day of your last period. If you're bloated and gassy, stick it out with fibrous foods. That's going to be the best way to help you. And it's totally normal. I was very gassy and gross, and pregnancy can feel yucky, and all of those yucky symptoms are happening because of all these hormones. But that's okay, baby. You're growing a baby. Don't feel grossed out. You can't control it. But that's week 5. We've got a lot changing, but also Only so much. I'll see you next week for week 6. Comment below if you have any questions.